All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Justin Clark here. We are live this morning, going to take a look at these Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets and see what's going on. And this morning we're slipping. Bitcoin is slipping this morning. And that's probably not making people too excited, right? They were hoping we'd get a bounce by now, but we have not. So we're going to take a look at what the potentials are here. Again, this is not investment advice. I just take these markets day by day. And the way that we trade with the system that I have, we don't really care that much. We don't care if it goes to 200,000 or we don't care if it goes to 1,000 or 2,000. We don't care. We just trade in and out. That's how we do things here. And that's been working really, really well for us for almost 8 years now. We're coming up on 8 years next year in 2025 that iCoinPro has been around. As you come on, say hello, good morning, and let me know where you're tuning in from. Good morning, Dean. Welcome, or afternoon to you, sir. Morning to you there. And let me know, too, if you're seeing this live or on a replay. Always like to see that. Of course, if you have any questions as I'm going through this presentation / training, because I do a little bit of training on this, let me know. But for those who are new here, if you would like, yeah, I know it's so painful. I know, especially if you're the guy who bought it at 108,000, right? Hoping it'll go back up, praying sometime this year. Well, this year is almost over, but sometime next year, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, but I've been there, Dean, and that's how I developed this system. I've been the holder, dying, staying up at night, watching my phone all freaking night. Terrible. Like, I would never, ever do that. The stress alone, it depends. I mean, of course, if you were somebody who had very disposable income and bought it when it was very cheap and had no problem holding on to it all these years, hey, you're a happy camper, right? But for those now entering this market with the prices where they are, it's a highly speculative digital market. We don't know which way this stuff's going to go. And if anybody tells you they do, they're fools. So with that said, though, we do have, a very proven track record, proven system where people can do incredibly well in these markets, no matter which way that they go. And we don't have to wait for a bull market to make money. We can make money in a bull or bear market. So, and you don't even have to take my word for it. If you want to learn how to do that, just get our free boot camp. It's very quick. Takes you about 40 minutes. You'll learn our main trade that we do, how it works, and you'll be able to see it for yourself. All right. I think it's one of those things that once you learn the dip trade that we teach, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And you can do that right in the free boot camp. So to get that, just get back with whoever introduced you to iCoinPro or shared this video with you. Or you can just shoot an email to support@icoinpro.com and they'll hook you up. All right. So we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin, and there's a good reason for it, because in this market, for those who are new, Bitcoin is just a big bully. Whatever Bitcoin does, everything else does. Yeah, I listen, Matt, I agree, man. Trying to predict can be really, really challenging. And the toughest thing is, and I'll share my screen now. Let me jump over here. You can be totally right in a market, right? Maybe you see Bitcoin going to 200,000 and you could be 100% right. It's going to go to 200,000, but your timing might be wrong. Maybe you think now's the best time to buy on that journey, but it's not. And it goes to 70,000. And then, maybe it would have been better to buy there, and then would have been better to buy here. And then maybe it goes all the way back to 108,000, but you don't sell. And then it goes even lower before it goes to 200,000 or wherever it's going to go. Right. And by that time, you've bought and sold multiple times. You bought the top, sold the bottom, bought the top, sold the bottom, and you're out of money. And that's unfortunately what most people do in a market. Just statistically speaking, I mean, 95% of people who try to trade markets lose money. But we have a better way. I mean, for sure. Again, please read all the disclaimers. There's always risk when it comes to trading. You got to follow the system, learn the system, etc. But we made it easier and more accessible than ever. Yeah, I see. Exactly. And we are in control. And believe me, I know you've tried a bunch of different ways to do this. And it's just, I died a million deaths to develop this system from April of 2017 all the way up through September 2019, when I finally had that light bulb moment that I figured it out and no more fooling around. And this was the best that we could possibly do. And just stuck to that. And ever since then, you know, my balance has consistently increased. All right. Before that, my balance would go up, sometimes dramatically, and then I'd end up losing all my gains, you know, and even more, trying to chase, you know what I'm saying, the shooting stars and stuff like that. Anyway, I could go on and on about that, but let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about this chart that we're looking at here. First off, what I want to do is I want to let iCoinPro members know where you can get this chart set up. It's called the MA Momentum. It stands for Moving Average Momentum chart setup. And you go here to Micro Profit System Part 3 on the training page, and you can do this training right here, MA Momentum. It's really, you can do it at any point in the 1 week course. It's a great standalone trading. And this chart alone, I believe, can save people tons of money. Just having a general idea of whether we're potentially in a bull market or potentially in a bear market. So you just don't make really dumb moves, which people like to do in markets. All right, so if we go here and we click on load chart layout, this is the iCoinPro trading portal. This is our software. Nobody else has this, right, at all. I'm going to click on this MA Momentum chart setup, and that's going to pull it up for us. A couple more comments I do want to just bring up here for everybody, because I think these are important. Dean is saying my weekly target is 8.4% per week. That's insane. I did 22% using the system. I did my 1.68% within an hour this morning using the system. So much better of a way. And I agree, Dean, and congratulations on your success. Of course, we have to always put the disclaimers in here. Results not typical. Dean's been learning the system, practicing the system. You got to learn the system and do it your way and see how you do. And you will be, I believe, amazed with your results. And I agree. I can sleep at night. I'm not up all night worrying about what the market's going to do if I'm going to wake up to, you know, losing 50 grand in the morning. Oh my gosh. One time, dude, I was up on a trade I was holding. I was up like $30,000. And then on my birthday, I went away. And on my birthday, it dumped overnight on my birthday, and I lost, I think, $10,000 or $12,000 of the gain. Fortunately, I was still up, and I had the presence of mind to sell it and took a good, you know, profit on that trade. But then I proceeded to lose that money I'd made trying to chase that same type of trade. And that's the whole challenge of trading. So the way that we do it now, that was way before I perfected this system. And the way that we do it now, I would not trade it for the world. Awesome. Good morning to you. Oh, excellent. Awesome. Yeah, you're up relatively early there in Vegas. Good to have you on here, Gio. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that, Matt. Glad you're on here chiming in this morning. Really, really do appreciate that. It's hard-won knowledge, that's for sure. And for everybody who's perfected this system, listen, it's you know, it's something that you've worked on and perfected and gotten good at. And now, of course, with the new software and the fact that we get all these notifications straight to our smartphone and everything, it just makes life so much simpler for all of us. We do not have to sit in front of our computers 24/7. We get the hot trades right to our smartphone when they happen. So, all right. So let's take a hard look here at Bitcoin. So this chart here, the MA Momentum, Moving Average Momentum, is a chart setup that it contains multiple what are called moving averages. That's these colored lines. They're just calculations of average price. That's all they are. And this purple, maroon, yellow, green, all of these different lines you're seeing here are moving averages. Now, quick overview of how this chart works. When we're trading above all of these moving averages, that means we're potentially in a bullish cycle and almost definitely not in a bearish cycle. Like now, we're still potentially in a bullish cycle, although we could be turning tides again. And we'll just have to see where the market wants to go from here. But we're starting to get some selling pressure continuing on. On the flip side, if we are trading below all of these moving averages and getting stuck in particular below this light purple one you see right here, that means that we're potentially in a bear market and almost definitely not in a bullish market, okay? And we have to reconquer all of these moving averages to return to a bullish cycle. So that can take time. Like here, once we entered the bullish cycle, which really started kind of here, and we got below all these moving averages, it took over a year to get back to a bullish cycle. Oh man, what a miserable time for the dude who bought here or bought here. And then, you know, you got to think about this. The dude who bought up here, if he held, right? If, and I say if because most people are not, he, to get back to basically break even, had to wait almost 3 years. And even after he bought here, right now, he was just up by 50%, which is a lot. Don't get me wrong. That's amazing, right? And I know some people are like, but I want thousands. Well, yeah, that's just what it is. Right now, they're only up about 32%, 33%, and they're sweating. What if it isn't the continuation of the bull market? What if it's over? What if it's blah? So everybody's getting kind of nervous now. And here's the big thing for me. We just look like we lost another moving average, and we are not bouncing. All right, so far. We are kind of grinding a bit lower and lower. And it's not like the market's super excited. We hit a level and it pings right back up. It's like now we're trading kind of sideways. So we've got, you know, all right. So here are the levels that we're looking at right now. 90K is essential for us to hold up. If we lose 90K or put pressure on 90K, we could see some of the altcoins really start to move south a bit. And some little more panic occur in the market. Below that, we got about 87, 86, 87, which will be the lower one-day Bollinger Band. Okay. And then below that, wow, 80,000, right? That's where the next big moving average is. This could be a good target for some people to buy if we get down here. We will just have to see what the market wants to do. But that's the next level. On the upside, we are going to need to reclaim probably 95K. You really to get solid here. Yeah, reclaiming 95K would be very, very important. Getting over that and, of course, reclaiming 100K would be magic right now. If the market were to do that quickly, that could all of a sudden re-energize the whole market and get things excited. But the big challenge we've got is this MACD. It did bearish divergence, which is the price is creeping up. The price is represented by these green and red candles, for those who don't know. The price was creeping up, and the MACD was going down, and that's called bearish divergence. So it looks like that's proving true, and now that MACD is building up momentum, and it's crossing through what's called the histogram here, and that's not good. That's a negative momentum potential situation. So until this blue line starts to cross back over and the momentum starts to build back up on the positive end of things, we could be in for continued selling right now. So we will just have to see what happens there. But right now it's not looking super awesome to me. So again, key resistances 90K, below that probably about 85, and then 80 below that. Wow, that would be so cool. For trading, for us, it'll be awesome. We'll rock that big time. On the upside, we got to reclaim, probably 95, start trading sideways, and then we can make a shot maybe at 100. All right. One thing I do want to check out here is longs and shorts, and boy, oh boy. This is getting me concerned now. All right, so the longs are people betting Bitcoin's going up, usually with leverage, so it's very risky trading. Oh my gosh, there's so many more comments. I'll have to take a look at these in a second. Sorry, I was getting into the analysis here. So longs are people betting Bitcoin's going up, usually with leverage, so it's a riskier trade. You can potentially blow out your account, all right, with that. Shorts are people betting Bitcoin is going down, usually with leverage. Again, they can blow out their account if they're wrong. Right the market's starting to get very confident we're going to bounce sometime soon here. And we got over 67% of people long. That means that they're betting the price is going to revert and go higher. If this price keeps creeping lower and lower, all right, and these longs keep going higher and higher, then we have the potential for what's called a long squeeze. So that means, and this has to go generally over 70%, we could see it. Again, it can happen at any time, but 70% or higher, I start to get really concerned, for it. Because what happens is, all these people are betting that Bitcoin's going up with leverage. They're borrowing money. It's very risky type of trading. If it goes against them, they can start to get liquidated. And then if they get liquidated, the price goes lower, and then more people get liquidated. And if they get liquidated, the price goes lower, and then more people get liquidated. And you get a cascading sell-off that occurs, and that's called a long squeeze. Basically, all of those people betting Bitcoin's going up get squeezed out of the market en masse. So will that happen? I don't know. But the potential is there, and it's getting a bit sketchier and sketchier. So we got to just keep a close eye on that. All right. Last thing I'm going to share here is we're going to look at what coins look like they're hot and what coins look like they're not. AGLD is looking pretty good. Definitely a good noisy chart here. So I'm going to feel pretty good trading this. Might want to let it do one good dip sequence and then revert, and then another dip sequence before I really dig in on that one, just to be super, super safe with where the overall market is and where Bitcoin is, right? Because if Bitcoin does start dumping, AGLD will just dump. I mean, again, not investment advice, but the probability is very high with how these markets move, okay? Other than that, I did hit a little trade on XYO this morning. Volume's a little bit low, so I was very conservative, but it was a good dip trade, and it had a nice recovery there pretty quick, but a small one. I was in a hurry to get out of it. That did a nice big dump. So I think right now we're just looking at AGLD, maybe Pepe if the spread is good enough. And that's one thing. We want to see drop, recovery, a good 2% recovery. We just finally got that. So, again, we want to see some good roller coastering going on here. This has all been pretty darn quiet. This whole market's pretty darn quiet. So we want to see, some good roller coastering, some good movement, which will show us that the market's finding some levels where the buyers are wanting to come back in and buy some more. So we'll keep an eye on that. But I think probably AGLD and Pepe are my only two. So again, let's keep a close eye on these longs. Man, if they go over 70% with this overall setup, having the high, coming across with the one-day MACD open, losing the moving averages, pretty quickly, we could build up some negative momentum. So anyway, stay safe out there, everybody. Let me dig through these comments here. All right, Matt. Yep, late in Thailand, early in Florida, early-ish in Florida, even earlier in Cali. All right, afternoon from South Africa. Welcome, Sasanda. Glad to have you. Yeah, I know. When we redid the interface for the portal, like the way you can customize what alerts you get and everything is just amazing. And the defaults work great too for those who are really new. But yep, it's totally awesome. Now let's see, Dean. Of course, last week I spotted a couple of QFD quick, fast, and dirty trades last week. It helped recover a clumsy week the week before. Yep. And again, that's all part of learning. One of the great things is we've got that forum, Dean. So any trades which go squirrely on you or you have a question on, please post them in the forum so I can look at them, other traders, and give you our 2 cents. All right, going to start implementing the system on the 1st. Excited to see how I do. Awesome, Gio. Just make sure you practice trade. Cut your teeth on fake money. And then just start trading with a couple $100 on whatever exchange that you go with. That way you can get used to orders being filled, you know what I'm saying, and using the system and kind of run the fire drill over and over and over again. And then you can scale to whatever you're comfortable with. Again, I always tell people trade with money you're comfortable losing. And that way you'll follow the system and do a good job. And if once you get to the point where you've doubled your original investment, say it was $2,000 and you make $2,000 in profit, take out your seed money, right? Then you're just playing with house money at that point, but don't trade it like house money. Trade it like real money. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. Welcome from Florida. All right. That's everything that I got. Again, if you want market analysis like this in your inbox or push to your smartphone, just follow me on Facebook or on x.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you want to learn how to trade, get our free bootcamp. It couldn't be better than that. It's free. It takes you 40 minutes. You can literally finish it right now. Listen, it's the new year, man. Make a New Year's resolution or woman to do the free bootcamp. All right. And learn how to trade, learn a new skill that can add an additional income stream to your life. Again, see all the disclaimers, all that sort of good stuff. But we have a proven track record with this system, been doing it a long, long time. So if you want to get that free bootcamp, get back with whoever introduced you to iCoinPro or share this video with you or shoot an email to support@iCoinPro.com. All right, everybody, take care. Stay safe out there. And be slow to ladder buy in this market. We'll just see what's going to happen here. This slow creepiness could turn into fast movement at any point. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.